Alright, guys, I'm back with another chapter in Joshua. We're in Joshua chapter 14, where the header reads, "The land divided west of the Jordan," and I'm going to get right into it. Here we go. The remaining tribes of Israel received land in Canaan as allotted by Eleazar the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and the tribal leaders. These 9.5 tribes received their grants of land by means of sacred lots, in accordance with the Lord's command through Moses. Moses had already given a grant of land to the 2.5 tribes on the east side of the Jordan River, but he had given the Levites no such allotment. The descendants of Joseph had become two separate tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim, and the Levites were given no land at all, only towns to live in with surrounding pasture lands for their livestock and all their possessions. So the land was distributed in strict accordance with the Lord's commands to Moses. A delegation from the tribe of Judah, led by Caleb, son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite, came to Joshua at Gilgal. Caleb said to Joshua, "Remember what the Lord said to Moses, the man of God, about you and me when we were at Kadesh Barnea. I was 40 years old when Moses, the servant of the Lord, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to explore the land of Canaan. I returned and gave an honest report, but my brothers who went with me frightened the people from entering the promised land. For my part, I wholeheartedly followed the Lord, my God. So that day Moses solemnly promised me, the land of Canaan on which you were just walking will be your grant of land and that of your descendants forever, because you wholeheartedly followed the Lord my God. Now, as you can see, the Lord has kept me alive and well, as he promised, for all these 45 years since Moses made this promise. Even while Israel wandered in the wilderness, today I am 85 years old. I am as strong now as I was when Moses sent me on that journey, and I can still travel and fight as well as I could then. So give me the hill country that the Lord promised me. You will remember that as scouts we found the descendants of Anak living there in great walled towns. That was weird how they separated that. But if the Lord is with me, I will drive them out of the land, just as the Lord said." So Joshua blessed Caleb, son of Jephunneh, and gave Hebron to him as his portion of land. Hebron still belongs to the descendants of Caleb, son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite, because he wholeheartedly followed the Lord, the God of Israel. Previously, Hebron had been called Kiriath Arba. It had been named after Arba, a great hero of the descendants of Anak, and the land had rest from war. And that's the end of chapter 14, guys. That one's short and sweet today. Now, I absolutely love that, and it impresses me so much, the reflection of time that they had for Caleb. To be 85 and for him to be reflecting that he is still as strong and able as when he was 40 or 45, and to know that, I don't want to say it had absolutely nothing to do with him, because there always requires a willingness. That is the single requirement that God needs from you. But the fact that he had the willingness, and God kept him in good health and strength and good faith the whole time he saw his people falter. And even after, he was like, "Hey guys, this is the right thing to do." And him and Joseph and Moses were pushed aside, or him and Joshua and Moses were pushed aside and said, "No, there's no way we can win this campaign against these great nations and take over the promised land." And after 40 years of wandering in the desert, he kept his faith. He kept his head up. And God blessed him with strength to not only be able to take the land that they just took, but to be able to continue that campaign, and giving a willingness, enough spirit at 85 to go, "No, I'll go take that land over there too. And I'm still ready to continue the fight. That blows my mind. So many times I think about where I'm at, and, you know, sometimes it's comparing myself to others. Sometimes it's comparing myself to just simply where I'd rather be. And whether that's physically, financially, spiritually, whatever that might be. And I get down on myself because I feel like I'm behind the ball, or I feel like I'm running out of time. And I feel all these things. And I needed that message today. I needed that message to say, hey, if you're on God's time, it's going to happen. It doesn't matter when. And just know that it is going to happen. And whether it's here or whether it's there, whatever it might be, that when you keep faith with God, it's already done. Now, others might have been there that kept him from the timing that he might have preferred, but that's okay. That didn't keep it from God's timing. And God's timing's perfect. So I love that. This might be Joshua 14. Joshua chapter 14 just climbed the charts for me as far as favorite verses go, just for that simple fact, that mentioning of Caleb and his steadfastness over all that time, that he was still given what God promised, and he was still able-bodied. It wasn't, I liken it to today's, so often people prioritize their finances and certain things so that one day they can eventually enjoy a retirement, to where sometimes if you'd focused on the wrong things, you might have lost out on health and not be able to enjoy the things you work so hard to obtain. And that's a lot of times a lot of our worries, I think. This, I imagine, he held his head up following God throughout those 45 years that you might have said was the hard work they had to wait for. But God still maintained him and sustained him to where now, hey, well done, good and faithful servant. Here's that land that I promised you. This is your promise. This is your slice of heaven here on earth for right now. And still kept his body for him so that he could enjoy it, so that he could fight for it. I really like Joshua chapter 14, guys. I really enjoyed that. I needed to hear this passage. But on that note, have a good night. God bless. I love you. Jesus loves you. And I'll be back for chapter 15 of Joshua tomorrow, where the header reads, the land given to the tribe of Judah. And we're going to start going through, I think it's the next, 10 chapters that will start telling us how the land was divided amongst all the tribes. So have a good night. God bless, guys. I will see you tomorrow for chapter 15. See ya.